For more on that story, I'm joined now by Kathleen Burk. She's a Professor of Emeritus of Modern History from the University College London. Thanks very much for your time, Kathleen. What are the implications for UK's economy if it leaves the European Union?
The UK economy? Well, the European Union is Britain's largest economic partner, in fact. And the thing is though, although it is argued that Britain could have new trading relationships with the United States or elsewhere around the world, which is quite true, nevertheless, to get access to the single market, you have to pay for it. So although Britain now as a member pays £10 billion to be part of it, nevertheless Norway, which isn't, has to pay £9 billion, Switzerland, which isn't, has to pay £5 billion. So it would not be cost-free to leave. Other than that, Britain wouldn't suffer that much in the sense that it has the fifth largest economy and the fifth largest economy in the world. It has an active trading relationship. It is the financial center of the world, the City of London. So yes, economic life would go on. But for a time, it would be very difficult because they would have to replace the European continent as the major trading power. And this isn't necessarily going to be immediately easy.
In that case, what are the implications for the European Union's economy then?
Well, in a sense, the other way. The European Union and certain countries are in grave difficulty now. France, for example, because of the sanctions against Russia. So a number of European farmers, for example, are in grave difficulty economically right now. In fact, there are demonstrations in France at this moment. Again, they have easy access to the City of London, the great financial center. They have the market to which they can sell all of their goods. The thing is, if Britain withdrew, it's not going to be a good thing economically for either the European continent or for Great Britain. So there has to be other reasons that will make it good for either side.
In that case, how likely is it that this week's negotiations can create a compromise that will satisfy both the UK and the EU?
I beg your pardon, I didn't quite catch that.
How likely is it that this week's negotiations can create a compromise that will satisfy both the UK and the EU?
Well, I think the chances are pretty likely because the cost is too great for both sides. As you know, Prime Minister Cameron had put forth a series of things which he wanted. He negotiated quite a few of them with Donald Tusk, who presented modifications. If he succeeds in accomplishing all of those, Britain should be satisfied. The real problem, of course, is that the question of piggybacking. That is to say, there are other European countries who would rather like to accomplish certain of these things. And will they say, we only accept if we, Greece, for example, have changes in finance? So, in a sense, it's not just Britain and Europe, it's Britain and various parts of Europe as well as the unity. I suspect at the end of the day, Britain will scrape through. But if you only scrape, there'll be another referendum in due course.
All right, Kathleen, thanks very much for your insight there. We really appreciate it. Kathleen in London there.